Beyond the Headlines on the WMBD Plus app, where we break down today's local news stories with our very own reporters. I'm Brianna Rittman.
And I'm Cameron Main. First, we are going over how local educators and state officials are coming together to upgrade their curriculum. Then,
we learn about a local youth football team that has had one of their dreams come true.
and I also have my own story that'll come later on, where we talk about the government shutdown and some SNAP benefits that obviously some food pantries are a little happy that the shutdown could potentially end. But what's our first story?
Yeah, so I think our first story is we got Alex Berger with us, an event at Illinois Central College talking about the landscape of education. So Alex joins us now to tell us more. So what is this event and what is it about?
Yeah, so this is called The State We're In. So it is hosted by Advance Illinois. It made its stop at ICC in Peoria today, but it goes all around the state to different hosting areas, venues, I guess I should say, to basically bring in education officials, state officials. So we saw Jahan Gordon Booth there today, Dave Killer was there today, to really just talk about what education looks like in that region. So for Peoria, they spoke about different things that needed to be worked on, things that they needed to improve, but also celebrating a lot, because there is a lot to be celebrated about, this region's school districts. With Peoria, there's a lot of effort behind the scenes that we don't always see, and so they're always working to do something good. And then obviously Jahan was able to give the perspective of where the state dollars go and how that is acquired.
And I think, Jahan's one of those lawmakers that Governor Pritzker always speaks very highly of and able to get that money in. But
absolutely.
What else did the panelists have to say at the panel?
At the panel, So there were 3 panelists that would include Dr. Sharon Demoulin-Karat, that would obviously Jahan Gordon Booth, state representative of the 92nd District, Jahan Gordon Booth. And then that would also be ICC President Sheila Quirk-Bailey, Dr. Sheila Quirk-Bailey.
Okay, a women-filled panel.
Yeah,
I love that.
It was a very, the moderator called it a fierce panel. A fierce panel of local
power.
leaders. Yes, and so they really each had their own thing to say. For Dr. Demoulin-Karat, she talked about chronic absenteeism. Obviously, that's been at the forefront of a lot of what they've been wanting to improve on.
Yeah.
That was Demoulin-Karat's main objective, besides, usual educational things. She wanted to make sure that chronic absenteeism went down as she's leaving at the end of the year. She wanted to make sure that kids were going to class, kids were getting a good education. For Jahan Gordon Booth, she talked about so there are a lot of ways that people can get educational or money for their education through Pell Grants, through different other grants, but she kind of wanted to talk about the people maybe in the middle who aren't always able to receive that kind of funding or able to receive those grants, different, based on where they come from or how they are raised or anything like that. And she's been talking with Governor Pritzker just to figure out a way to get them money too, figure out a way to get them a way to go to college. And then Dr. Sheila Quirk-Bailey spoke about what one of their biggest successes is, which is the Workforce Empowerment Program. So they actually were able, over this past year, have been able to place their people through the program in jobs that are paying about, I believe, $30,000 more than the average living wage, which, hey, not too bad.
That's not too shabby.
I would also call that a success myself. So that is what that main chunk of that event is just celebrating
relatively
success.
Good news.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not like a shame on you. They also highlighted that everyone in the room who's an educator, my sister's choir director was actually there too.
Okay.
So shout out to Julie. But educators, they're doing their best, they're doing what they can, and they're on the right track.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Alex.
Gladly.
Another story making us Central Illinois proud that Alex is also covering.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
A team from WMBD News spending the morning at Kroger shopping for the Stuff-A-Bus food
Yes, yes,
drive.
yes.
Oh, okay.
All of the canned and non-perishable food items they brought benefits the Peoria Friendship House. The 38th annual event runs
Thanks,
until
Shamari,
December
for that
1st
card.
at participating Kroger locations. Marcella Somerville with the Friendship House says it takes a labor of love, especially teams of people coming together to help eliminate hunger in Peoria.
Yeah, so Dennis, actually, our photographer, Dennis Eggemeyer, shot this morning. Oh, there's my Uncle Brian. He's a great dude. I didn't shoot it myself, but Dennis did. However, what a cool thing.
Right.
Yeah, it
you
is.
love when people from the station get to go out and kind of get out of the station for something that isn't necessarily just a story. It's more of
Right.
a action.
Right.
You know, putting into action something that's very much needed.
And very important, and helps people in need.
Right.
And, You
Exactly.
know, there's a lot of people that, you know, it's kind of become national attention of how many people rely on SNAP benefits and
Right.
all those food programs. But that's, even with a shutdown ending, there's still going to be people that need to be fed.
This is easily the most serious conversation we've had on this app because usually we're like, look at that,
Yeah, I know, right?
penguin's belly.
Okay,
Yeah.
now when we come back to Beyond the Headlines, we've got Cameron in the hot seat going over how the shutdown is impacting local food pantries. We'll be right back.
That's
Look at that.
You're
Great
so
transition.
smart. Wow.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Our next local story of the day. The potential end of the government shutdown is giving local pantries something to be thankful for. Our Cameron Main is in the hot seat now to go over how local food pantries reacted to the shutdown's potential end. So, Cameron, is there an end to the shutdown in sight?
So I think this is the confusing part, and I think a lot of people, so even though the bill passed out of the House ages ago, right, back in September, then it's been stuck in the Senate because of the filibuster. They need Democrat votes for it to be able to pass, and then it passed out of the Senate. Well, they changed some of the language of the bill, so that means it has to go back to the House.
Okay.
So now they're talking about it in the House. So we're still in a government shutdown. It's still going on, but it seems like they're looking to vote sometime tonight on the proposal. Whether it will pass or not, that is
Up in the air.
up in the air for now. We won't confirm anything because I am not the Speaker of the House.
You're not. So, how did the food pantries react?
Well, I think a lot of times what really happened here as well, and to give a little prelude,
Okay.
is because, as we've discussed a lot, SNAP benefits have been a huge concern in the community.
Great
And
concern.
there's been so many moving parts, but the TLDR is some people have not been able to access their SNAP benefits, which means they can't feed themselves as low-income people. It's quite a difficult position to be in. So for food pantries, it was a lot of chaos. And there was also additional people needing to rely on SNAP because they're federal workers that no longer got paid. So there were a lot of moving pieces here. And
Right.
I think food pantries overall, well, we talked to one and they say they're very hopeful. This is a big sigh of relief for them. And this will really help them be able to hopefully get back to normal. But that normal is still people needing to be fed.
Right.
And I think there's been a real national attention to that. And we talked to Marcellus Somerville,
Okay.
who we were just talking about before.
Right.
And he said basically he was super proud of the community, the city, for being able to gather together as much as it did to help those that are on SNAP benefits that weren't able to access it. The city did a fantastic job
Right.
during this crucial time.
That is good that the community has been coming together to make sure people still have food on their tables, in their refrigerators, and in their cabinets. Now, is there anything that could stop the bill to reopen the government from passing?
So there was one amendment that they made in the Senate, which complicated a lot of backlogging, but to put it in the shortest way, there were some senators that were upset that their phones were subpoenaed during the January 6 trials and
Okay.
that whole court case that went on. So they added into the bill that they could sue the DOJ for a certain amount of money. That looks like it's being separated into a different bill. It seemed like Mayor Johnson did not like that being added, and they're going to vote on it separately outside of the budget. So that was something that was kind of blocking it. But again, House members can change their opinions.
Right.
And this has been a while, and it's been a very long fight on this healthcare program that Democrats say without it, it will increase the insurance health rates for the premiums for a bunch of people. And so there's been some reports of that already happening because it's open enrollment right now.
We're in our open enrollment. I got to get mine done.
Yeah, exactly. So there's still a lot of questions up in the air, and we'll never know it'll pass until it passes.
Right. Well, thank you, Cameron, for that update. The McRib is back, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the McRib is back for a limited time only. The sandwich will be available in big cities like Miami, Dallas, Cleveland, St. Louis, Atlanta, Chicago, Seattle, and Los Angeles. The holiday pie also back starting on Friday. Some savvy investors have noticed Bitcoin and the S&P 500 tend to perform well after a McRib comeback.
Okay.
Especially in 2017, 2020, and 2021.
I want to know the person that found that connection. You know, it's like, oh, yeah, the McRib, it increases Bitcoin. Oh. You know, that's crazy. But I've actually never had a McRib. Is it good?
I wouldn't know.
They don't have it in Peoria, is what
I don't. I know everybody wants to find some type of innovation, and it works for McDonald's. That's McRib, but they're a burger place to me.
And you're also from the South, so you love those ribs.
I don't. Yeah, why would I go to McDonald's to get ribs when I have all these other restaurants to get ribs from?
You can get homemade ribs.
Right, that's a normal day for us.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Going to McDonald's to get McRib. So I wouldn't trust that. Sorry,
right.
McDonald's.
Well, we've got one more local story for you when we return on Beyond the Headlines. Our very own Brianna Rittman shows us a youth football team that's working to accomplish all their dreams. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Another big local story of today. A group of young football players from Peoria winning big in St. Louis over the weekend. Brianna is in the hot seat now to tell us more about the 309 Punishers. All right, give us some background. Who are the 309 Punishers and what do they do?
Okay, the 309 Punishers is a youth football, tackle football, and traveling football program. They were established 8 years ago by Coach DeMarco Harris. Just wanted to create a safe space as well for the players. So they're more than just a football team. They are a family. They hang out with one another, creating a safe space. We have some, recent gun violence, youth violence in the city. So it gives them a safe space to be at night. I mean, some of these players have cousins, brothers that they have lost to gun violence within the year during the season and stuff.
Right.
So we could see them at practice yesterday. I got to stop by practice yesterday. That's Chase Smith right there. These kids were not camera shy. This is
they were active.
They saw the camera. The coaches, one of the coaches and the parents confirmed that they never seen them catch so many footballs last night.
Oh,
they said,
okay.
you might need to come out here more often because usually in practice they're dropping, but it was just, a good time. So what's so great about 309 Punishers that in their 8U and 11U divisions, they won the Super Bowl in St. Louis on this past Saturday.
Oh, the Super Bowl?
The Super Bowl for, I cannot keep up with the different leagues, but they won
their Super Bowl equivalent.
Their Super Bowl equivalent, they won for 8U and 11U. So this organization, they had two teams. I think they have kids from like 5 to like 14.
Right.
So the 8U and 11U divisions, they won. And that will get them they're going to regionals next weekend.
Ooh,
in
okay.
Rantoul.
Rantoul, where's that?
Don't get me to tell stories. I'm not from here, just like you're not from here.
I was like,
it's in Illinois. I can tell you that. Maybe downstate. I don't know.
It's
but it's in Illinois. They got regionals.
It's in Illinois.
So they have regionals next week.
Mm-hmm.
So they were really excited about their win. The big deal about the win is last year they lost by 1 point.
Oh.
The 11U team lost by 1 point last year, but they won by a touchdown this year.
So they don't want to lose.
Oh, they don't want to lose.
No.
They were hungry.
Oh, really?
They were
What was
hungry.
the reaction to when they won?
They were still on high. You saw they weren't camera shy?
Yeah.
That's still them, the momentum from winning on Saturday. in St. Louis. So, you know, their family was out there supporting them, friends and family out there supported them. It's a great feeling. And then coming back to school, you know, like
As like a champion.
right.
You're like,
I won
yeah,
the Super Bowl.
I'm
you
kind
know.
of goated.
You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I'm goated, you know? And so what's next for them? Like I said, they have regionals next weekend on the 21st, beginning on the 21st. They win regionals, and then they get to go to Florida
Ooh,
for the
okay.
American Youth Football Championship. So that's like their big nationals. Like I said, I can't keep up with the different leagues. But you
Yes.
win this game, then you get to go here. You win, because I thought the Super Bowl was it.
Yeah,
but they were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
no, because I was like, if the Super Bowl's it, why are y'all at practice right
Yeah,
now?
usually the Super Bowl is like the ending thing.
They were like, no, we have regionals, and we regionals, like all the kids, they were like, I said, what are you looking forward to next? They're like, going to Florida. So they in their head, they have already won regionals.
Wow,
Because
okay.
they're saying what's next. They didn't say, I'm looking forward to winning regionals. They said, I'm looking forward to going to Florida.
Yeah, because they're going to win.
Right. They're going
Okay.
to win. I mean,
Knock on
they're
knock
the
on,
309
knock on wood.
Punishers. Why wouldn't they win,
Yeah,
right? It's in the
exactly.
with a name like that, you have to live up to it, right?
Yeah, that's what I would think as well.
Right. So I think that, and I think they wore that, and they left that on the field. They had the grit for it. They won their Super Bowl. We wish them luck in regionals, and we wish them luck in Florida.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, thanks for breaking that down. I'd never heard of them before, but seems like they're going to go to Florida.
Yeah.
Well, we've got some big news from Hollywood, and it's for kids of all ages. Woody, Buzz, and Jessie are coming back again next summer. Here's your first look at Toy Story 5.
I was standing, you were there. Two worlds collided, and they could never, ever tear us apart.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you!
Hi there, I'm Lilypad. Let's play.
It looks like the toys have to compete with a tablet to get Bonnie's attention. Toy Story 5 comes out in June next year. That's very meta, I feel like, for the time. If they were
Right.
going to do like another Toy Story,
Right.
doing something like this is...
Right. I think they'll do good, because I was like, how many Toy Stories do we need? But
Yeah.
adding that aspect is very befitting.
And I
Good
didn't
job.
watch Toy Story 4. Did you watch it?
I feel like I did not. I have
Yeah.
a former coworker that is a Toy Story fan, and I don't remember what they told me what happened. I think Andy, is that when he went to college?
No, Andy went to college in
in
the
3.
third one. Yeah, the third one.
So we were introduced to Bonnie in 4, maybe? I don't know.
I think so, maybe. I didn't end up watching it, so I'm not a...
I'm not a Pixar girl.
I used to be an expert on Toy Story when there was 3 of them, because those 3,
Right.
classics. 4, I was a little, remake skeptic kind of
Right.
guy. I was like, especially that was like the Lion King one, where it's
Yeah.
like, this is a classic movie, and then
Right.
you just turned it into like CGI. I'm like,
Right.
knock off it.
I was like, how far can we go? But I think they are doing, because I think like Shrek has a 4 coming out too, or
Yeah,
something. Like, I
that's-
just can't. I can't.
Too
keep
many
up.
remakes. All right, well, thanks for joining us for today's Beyond the Headlines. You can find all these stories and more on our website, ciproud.com.
For breaking news and weather updates 24/7, log on to ciproud.com and download the free CI Proud to Go mobile app.